I'm not gonna have the time
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee can be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Oh, black and yellow. Shake out a little. Barry, breakfast is ready. Come on, hang on a second.
Hello,
Barry, Adam, can you believe
just
it?
mute
This is
him.
happening? I can't.
Yeah, you can mute.
Yeah, I can
Just fucking speed reading the fucking bee movie script.
Oh, I can't. The stream can't watch me mute him. He just sees profile pop up when I hover over him. His box cuts out my options for muting him.
I mean, that means he can't stop me from posting Big Vampire Lady.
I mean, he did start reading the B-movie script to try and stop you from doing that, and now I'm going to introduce the session in the hopes that you'll stop doing that.
Would Barry B. Benson be
Paul, I will
interested?
mute you.
Would he go for a vampire lady?
No.
He already has an affinity for going for women who are significantly larger than him.
Right.
So what's a little bit more height?
Yeah.
Given the
That's
context
the
of this
ship.
conversation, I assume people will probably already know what we're chatting about prior to this session. Paul, shut up. Craig, shut up. Matthew, I'm sorry.
This hurts me as well. This hurts me as well.
That's true, yeah, but you also just read the B-movie script, so I'm not apologising to you for that.
I was attempting to. I was saving you all. I was making a sacrifice. I was making the sacrifice no one else was willing to make.
As I welcome you all back to Twisted Fates. Boys, stop arguing in the Discord chat. Craig.
Hello.
You quite done?
Yes.
Paul,
maybe.
don't react to that.
I delivered quite a raw line similar to that recently.
You cannot hurt me in a way that matters.
Exact narratives.
Right.
Is my class
here to
finished
play-
yet?
We're done.
We're here to play fucking Dungeons and Dragons, not debate the semantics of Barry B. Benson.
Is my class quite finished yet? Yes?
No.
God, your children. As always, I am your dungeon master and in charge of these feckin' Egypts. Craig's already said hi, but we also
Kind of.
have... You're not getting to say it again. As we also have Ewan,
Hello.
Matthew,
Hey.
and Paul, who really needs to stop posting in chat.
Hello.
As before we get into today's session, which is starting with some combat that the boys rolled their initiative for absolutely poorly last session, I'll kind of give you a recap of what happened because it got quite intense towards the end. As they continued their investigations into the mystery in Westcross, they, I guess, split up a little bit. Eidolon went to investigate the most recent disappearance, a man called Gaius, who I guess didn't really give him much new information. He perhaps found a way that the people were being at least apprehended by the beast. He found a bottle that was laced with a poison that he later found out from Arcasar known as Night's Wraith, which was typically used as a sleeping draft, most likely the reason that so many people were going missing and no one was actually able to detect them. They were put into a deep sleep and kind of just taken from there. My other boys started, or at least one of them, Paul, started to follow my red herring as they went to the Stonewall Emporium, and the shopkeep there was obviously not very happy with them asking questions. Quite a sensitive topic for him, but he pushed them
we
again.
heard your son's dead. How you doing with that?
Wasn't your best move in the world, but hey ho, we were getting there. As he pushed them in the direction of the Halls of the Faith back towards the priestess, and Paul was so very close to taking the bait, with the party seemingly following him to some degree, until once they all met outside the Red Dragon, they encountered a scout for the Sentinels, a half-elf named Ost, who gave them some new information. Allowed them to go to the Bluebell and Chamomile to trace back some records of who bought certain flowers to make certain poisons, as well as the description of the man who seems to be marking the buildings. A relatively scrawny man as described by Ost, and a man that was, at least in his description, familiar to that of Eidolon and Ranagash as being the Lord's servant, steward, butler. something about the male, yes?
Just to assume that it's like there's only one short, thin man in the entirety of town, and it simply must be him.
But all the leads led to West Cross Keep, and my party went there, finding interesting ways to get in. Obviously, Eidolon and Ranagash had their own way in. They could use Ranagash's summons to re-enter the keep, but Markazar and Wulfric needed to be a bit more inventive. Thankfully, Wolfgang was not too out of the realms of lying for Wulfric and managed to get him a route of passage, meaning that they could all go in and investigate together. However, that's, I guess, when things got a little bit more suspicious and tense. As the party split up once more whilst in the manor, Wulfric and Markazar kind of keeping Simon, the butler, distracted, whilst Eidolon snuck away to look for a young woman that he and Ranagash had saw prior. He found out some interesting information from the young woman, the fact that she is not native to Westcross, she's actually native to the Vanrill Woods, and has only been in town for about 2 months, with no recollection of how she got there. She was able to tell him that the Lord, however, used to, or at night, would frequent a cellar under the manor, though she didn't really know what he was doing there, but said that she could take him there. My other three, however, got led to a drawing room, not the Lord's study, where Simon left them there, not even questioning the fact that one of the 4 of them was missing. And, yeah, next thing they know, by one, they all fell unconscious, with Markazar sustaining some injuries. And
I almost died.
You did almost.
And he sustained a few more.
You did almost die. As Eidolon, travelling with a young woman, went to go and find them. She kind of retired. She didn't want to get herself in more trouble or put herself in any more danger. Can anyone really blame her? You guys seem to get in trouble everywhere you go. And he managed to find Wulfric and Markazar, waking up Wulfric with a backhand and punching Markazar in the face. However, Ranagash was not there. He was instead elsewhere, which will be a very fun start to the session, as they're going to have to try and get you out of those manacles.
Paul, are you at all good at getting people out of manacles? You know, you've had to bust your cult members out so many times, I'd expect you to be at least somewhat decent at it.
I have a pretty okay sleight of hand. I can maybe.
As Ranagash was taken, presumably by the creature. Unsure, you're not too sure how that came about, but he was taken into the cellar where obviously Eidolon, Markazar and Wulfric were heading. But he himself also had a relatively interesting encounter there, as he got to encounter an astral projection of, well, an elf now he knows as Gairdra, someone from Eidolon's past, and someone who at some point turned against Eidolon in quite a dramatic way, shall we say. That's one way to put it.
Well, you know, dying is quite a way to put it.
Yeah. But that's kind of where we're picking up. As the astral projection was disrupted by Wulfric, he was able to, I guess, destroy the circle that was keeping it in place, but that wasn't enough to stop the creature. Where my party, with Eidolon, Wulfric and Markazar, ready and willing for combat, and Ranagash on the floor with his runes scattered and still manacled.
Uh-oh.
We begin some combat. Now, we rolled for initiative last time, kind of coming to the end of our session. My boys rolled absolutely shockingly. It's becoming a theme at this point.
I rolled above 10.
Shut up,
As did I.
positive dex modifier.
Well, that one yourself then.
Silence, positive dex modifier.
I think the only two that did roll above 10 were my positive dex modifiers, and that's literally because Paul has a +1.
Yeah.
Elf privileges.
Literally elf privileges. He had a +0 before he became an elf, and then he got a +1 because he is an elf now.
He's also a twink now.
But it does mean that with that unfortunate initiative roll from my boys, I get to go first in combat, and I need you all to make me a wisdom save.
Swell.
That's always a great start.
I'm not good at these.
No, I'm not
Never
any good.
mind.
Ewan, can we swap?
You can swap.
Silence, positive wisdom modifier.
Okay, so the only one that actually passed was Wulfric. That is...
Let's go!
All failed.
What? Oh, what a joke.
You failed by 1, Paul, if that makes you feel any better.
I don't think it does.
You're about to take 3 bajillion points of psychic damage. Wolfric, I'm down. Reinbrand is about to be the only one walking out of this combat.
Actually, I can do something cheeky on my turn because I'm a 7th level monk.
You can, yes.
Be careful, look out, world. I'm feeling cheeky.
But as we are starting this combat, the, I guess, contorted wolf or werewolf that is now standing in the middle of the summoning circle, replacing the astral projection of this elf, almost gets down on all 4, hunches over, and releases quite a blood-curdling howl that seems to shake the manor, to the point that even some of the rocks of the foundation fall and clatter against the ground. Eidolon, Markasar, Ranagash, and the Lord and Simon, you are now all considered to be frightened of the creature.
Great start.
Wolfric, you are not. So positives there.
Positive.
Let's go.
This is the first successful
Let's
wisdom
go.
save you've made. If only you could have done this with Alania.
Hey, this is his payback for failing, was it 7 in a row? And killing Paul.
He failed so many.
That was funny though.
He even failed the one that I got him to re-roll because I got the save mixed up.
Killing Paul is just universally funny.
Okay. So, for yourselves, with the frightened condition, you cannot willingly move closer to the target. So obviously if you use your movement, you have to use your movement to move away from the target. And if you try to hit the target, obviously in self-defense or just freaking out if you're close enough or it's close enough to you, you have disadvantage.
Good stuff.
And that goes for ability checks as well whilst it's nearby. So it's not just your attacks. So like, if you do decide in a panic to try and get Ranagash out of the manacles, Markasar, you're doing that with disadvantage as well.
Cool.
As Craig,
Hello.
it's Eidolon's go, as you rolled a 13.
Alright, so I'm in the lucky situation where it is what I hoped it would be. So essentially just, I guess, down to the bone, fear for a second. More just takes the hand. I already deactivated the arm of the astral self last time. Just put it to the chest. I'm going to use Stillness of Mind, which ends the frightened condition on myself as an action.
Cool.
So, as long as there's nothing spooky, that's it, just done now. Could I use a bonus action to try get ran out, or would that be the interact with an object action?
I mean, it would be more interacting with an object because it's not like you don't have a key and you don't have proficiency in thieves' tools.
In that case, I'll step forward, more just ready myself up against the wolf, and I'll bonus action patient defense.
Gasp, patient defense.
So
that
essentially
monk
just,
thing.
I'll get just right up next to it, ready my sword, ready my other arm, and patient defense. Well, I'm no longer frightened, so that's good.
Yeah. The frightened condition can be a bitch.
I can end a charmed or frightened condition on myself as an action. One effect.
A monk.
7th level too.
As Paul, it is Markasar's go.
I don't know.
Mark's
what.
so scared.
I am pretty scared right now. I want to use a new spell. I think I want to try and cast Elemental Bane on the wolf thing.
It's a new one.
It is a new one.
What element are you baning it?
Fire,
Let's go.
I believe.
Ooh, so if it has resistance to fire, it loses it, and it takes an extra 2d6 fire whenever Wolfric hits it with fire.
Or just in general.
Yeah.
Is it concentration?
It is.
No.
Yes,
It's not
it is.
concentration.
Is it?
Is it?
It's got a little C beside it.
Yes,
yeah.
it is concentration.
Then
Ignore
it will
me.
be concentration.
So I need a Constitution saving throw. Yes. Which would be 20.
Holy shit.
Non-nat.
That was a nat 20.
No, non-nat 20.
Ah well, that's
I
mine.
think 20 still passes.
Yeah, it definitely does, and that's my 1 4th level spell slot gone.
Oh! Oh no!
Ouch.
Immediately. Oh my god.
Oh, it's the scroll all over again.
It's the scroll all over again.
Press F in chat for Paul's spell scroll.
I don't really know much else I can do right now, apart from I can't move towards Ranagash, can I?
No, because moving towards Ranagash would be moving towards the creature.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna pass my turn over.
Cool, can you give me a wisdom save?
Oh, swell.
Ooh. We all put Fs in the chat.
Good. So you still fail.
Great.
You take 4 psychic damage, Paul.
Oh
So-
shit! This motherfucker does psychic damage if you can't resist.
Thank
this
you,
game.
thank you, DM, for the damage.
As the fear of this thing seems to almost start causing you to have small hallucinations. It almost seems like it's starting to blur in and out of existence. Like, I guess it's almost like a displacement effect. You're not too sure where it is, and it almost seems to almost be merging within one another, just kind of phasing in and out, causing you a bit of a headache.
The 4 damage he took was 4 seconds of a panic attack.
I mean, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Ah, too real. Running action.
Right.
Moving on.
I suppose the question to ask is how specifically am I manacled?
Behind your back.
So like
Yep.
wrists together. Right.
Like-
Okay, that's That
They're
makes sense.
not You've probably got about that much of a chain link between them. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. How reasonable would it be to maneuver that so that they're on my front? So like jump over it.
Um, I would need an acrobatics. It would cost your whole movement, but because of your body type, I would probably say you would be able to do that. Because you're not
boy.
you're not very broad. You're quite skinny, so like technically
Yeah.
you could do that, and that is something that is possible to do in real life.
Yeah.
But if you fuck it up,
You might be.
you would be prone, and you might lose like mobility in wrists or shoulder.
Okay, yeah. I think with a 0 dex mod, or 0
Also-
acrobatics mod.
You'd have disadvantage because you're frightened.
Yeah.
So it would be
That's
even
the
worse.
idea. Alright, plan B, go for the one spell that has no somatic components that deals damage. So I need to find my rune for vicious mockery.
Just
What
using
is-
your feet to like claw it over.
Yeah.
Just roll me a flat d20. I would say add dex or sleight of hand if you have it, but I don't think you have either, I'm assuming. Or do you have sleight of hand?
Nope.
Cool,
Is
just a
this also a
flat
disadvantage
d20.
or? Oh no. Oh, great start.
It turns out maneuvering your runestones, trying to maneuver anything, including yourself at this point, at least whilst you're in this frightened state of mind, it's not really working out for you. You are able to pull quite a few of your runestones closer to you, but not the ones that, not the one you wanted.
Okay. Is that my action then? Alright. I have no bonus action. I can't move in a way that would be beneficial to me. Guess I'll stay here.
Ran flounders on the floor.
Wisdom save again?
Yes, please.
Seems like we shouldn't fail these. Ah.
Ah.
This is
but-
why you shouldn't open your mouth, Craig.
I'm too good at it.
As Ranagash, you only take a single point of psychic damage.
Lucky.
Time to attack.
I'm hoping
Time
she's rolling a
to
d4, and it just so happened to be a 1 and a 4 that time.
Time to attack.
Yeah.
So, unless you guys do anything to stop them, so this is for Marksar, Eidolon, and Wolfric, the Lord and Simon will use their movement to get out of the room.
Cowards.
Can I use my react? I'm assuming I have a reaction.
Do they pass by me?
If this is what I'm saying, if you guys want, you have the opportunity to obviously stop them. You can make opportunity attacks because they will be passing by you.
Does
Can I
Si-
punch the mayor with my arms?
Technically, yes. It's also Lord.
Lord.
So if Eidolon has the Lord, do you want to try and get Simon, Wolfric?
I'll try and get Simon.
Because you have your
Again, I
Sentinel
tried-
thing as well, don't you?
Yeah, and where his speed will be reduced to 0 if I hit him.
Nat 20!
22.
22. He can now no longer move
Can you
because that
both roll me
reduced his
damage?
Can I make the statement, however, that with the tendrils I am aiming at the Lord's legs to essentially just knock him to the ground?
I still need damage though.
It might still kill him. Alright, so my unarmed strikes in Astral are 2d6. That is 8 doubled 16 damage.
They're both dead.
Let's go! Murder!
It'll do,
Yay!
it'll do.
As the Lord is still intact, I guess, he kind of goes colliding into the stairs. You see his skull kind of crack against one of the steps. Simon is in half.
Let's
He deserved it.
go!
He
Like,
deserved
he
it.
goes past Wolfric, Flaming Axe just goes straight through him. Legs kind of fall to his knees and the torso just kind of hits against the wall.
Does it
I
cauterize
would
wood?
feel bad if these people literally weren't feeding their town to a nightmare wolf.
You just got invincible. Tag your friends to totally invincible though.
So I don't need their stats anymore because they died in one turn.
To reactions. They didn't even die to actions, they died to reactions.
To be fair, I expected them to die to something like that anyway. I just didn't expect it to be like you guys straight off the bat. I thought that they'd maybe last one round. As Wolfric.
Me, I'm attacking. I'm attacking.
Just don't
One
miss.
attack.
That will hit.
He's not frightened, is he?
No,
No,
he's
he's
not
not,
frightened.
Lucky.
He was the one who passed.
Strength saving throw, please. I reroll ones.
23.
He's
Jesus!
fine. He's fine. Second attack. Probably misses.
Yes.
I would like to action surge, please.
Action surge, please, DM.
It's like
That will hit.
he has a little
Good.
script next to him of like,
No,
say this line, do
Attack,
this dice.
strength save, action
Ooh,
Oh,
surge,
that's
wow.
nice
attack.
damage. Oh!
Remember the D8, Ewan?
Wait, I always forget with maneuvers.
Or are you not superiority dying?
if it's once per attack or if it's once per turn.
I'm pretty sure it's once
I-
per attack on superiority die, but I might be wrong.
I'm just confirming this. Sorry, I do read all of my stuff. It's just sometimes I miss little things.
To be fair, I think it's with Battlemaster monks. There's one other subclass that I
You
tend to
can
do it with.
only use one maneuver per attack.
Okay, I am
Pretty sure
another
you can use
strength.
multiple per turn.
Another strength saving throw, please. I'm gonna bank on a low roll.
19.
That
Fuck.
is. Fuck. I mean, for him, that's probably a low roll.
Oh, that's sad to think. 60
That
might
will
hit.
also hit.
Oh,
thank
nice.
God.
AC 16.
Another strength save.
Fuck it. One last strength save.
18.
Hey,
Fuck.
fuck. This guy's. I just burned 3 of my superiority dice.
You see, you can think of it as burning them, but you can also think of it as 3d8 extra damage.
That is
Hang
also
on,
true.
wait a second. I think I may have had a brief lapse in my judgment. Oh my god! I have 6 superiority dice. I forgot that.
Okay, you have more to use?
I have more dice, and I will need to put them in after a long rest. But I have 2 additional maneuvers now.
Are you also counting in your extra one from your feet?
Yes, I am counting in extra one.
Nice.
Okay, you learn 2 additional moves. That's 7.
Yeah, so you have 5, 1 from your feet, and then lots of maneuvers now. That's nice.
As it's now this thing's go.
Oh, okay. Time to get smacked, boys.
Let's go.
Oh, it doesn't like Wolfric. Then Wolfric is the closest. Considering
All of patient defense for nothing again.
Wolfric is it. This is the problem you have with patient defense when you're the dodge tank. Because if Wolfric has all the aggro and you're not in there fighting, like...
I'm banking on like 3 attacks. It uses 2 on Wolfric and 1 on me.
Provided it doesn't use them all on me.
That's the fucking hope, Ewan.
Oh, I need to do this too. Nope, you're good.
Also, Paul, whatever you do, please don't poison spray it.
Which one would I actually use? Probably those.
I don't like that. I don't like that phrase. I don't
Well,
like
that
Which
has
one would I
multiple
actually-
options, Ewan.
Okay.
I don't like that it's a Swiss Army werewolf. It's gonna fucking grow. Was it gonna grow a fucking Gatling gun out of its chest or something?
So a 10 won't hit you, Wolfric, but I'm assuming a 18 and then a 19 will.
Yes, both of those will hit me.
Just going for you. Have fun.
1, 2, 3.
Waste
This is not,
Four.
this is not very pog champ.
3, 6, 10, 14, 16 damage.
16 damage.
From one attack or all of them?
That's from 1.
Okay, so I'll wait.
Is you
give
and
me the
half
whole-
any of them?
Actually, fuck, you've got your armor now, don't you?
What damage type is it?
One of them is acid. So you'll
Let's
take...
go!
This makes it sound really bad. Rather than 16 damage, you take 15 damage. It rolled 2 acid damage. The rest of it was just slashing. What
So
be...
I only take 15 damage.
Yeah. I need to
Sounds
remember
like
you've
me.
got your armor on.
I'm happy I said something at the very least.
Oh, this is a better one to take less damage on. 17 damage. Acid damage. Acid damage is already halved.
Oh! Oh! It did more damage that
So that's a
time.
total of 32?
15
Yeah.
plus, yeah, 32. 15 plus 17.
Spicy.
Oof. I feel really bad. It's like, oh yeah, I half acid damage. It's 15, not 16. As Craig.
Alright. I'm gonna be very simple here. It's going for Ewan, so I'm gonna try at least get it slightly off. I'm burning a key point for 4 attacks this turn.
Nice.
I'll step size it depending on how many hit.
This
I
is
will
when none
roll all
hit.
of them at once. So that's a...
Nope, nope.
You should never have said anything. You should never have said anything.
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
So essentially, more just taking the sword, taking 2 slashes by, more like to imagine it just sort of like taking a few back steps out of the way. And then just as it's taking that slight distance from me, just outstretch the left hand, stay in the same position as the tendrils essentially lash out and move towards it. So that's going to be not bad damage, actually.
Remember, you have dice.
You have dice?
Are you
What do you mean
using...
I have dice?
Oh, you're using just your unarmed attacks.
Yeah?
That's fine then, you don't have dice. Wait, do
What
you
do you
have
mean
dice?
I have dice? What do you mean I have dice?
Give me 2 seconds, I need to check something.
I don't understand what you mean. What are these riddles?
Many things.
You're not making any sense.
It's the Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about meme again?
My
Right.
astral self unarmed attacks are 2d6, and yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the full damage there.
That's
All
fine.
force. Yeah, that's all force damage. Slightly pish damage, but by the way it reacted to Ewan's strength saves, I don't know how I feel about trying to force a con save.
It doesn't look too phased by that at all.
I'm fine. I'm gonna keep trying the next turn.
This is when you try and stunning strike it, and it's immune to the stunned condition.
Oh, maybe we'll try that next turn. We might try that next turn. That's me for now, though.
As Paul.
Still frightened.
Still frightened.
Seeing that Wolfric took a big hit, I would like to healing word him.
Hooray.
Why do you sound so, like, miffed by that, Ewan?
No, I'm not miffed. I'm just... I don't know.
He's hurting. He's hurting real bad.
He's waiting to say the line, as in he's down.
The blood's on the outside. That's not where it's supposed to be.
Final.
Okay, you're healed for 12,
Thank you very much. I'm on 34.
and I can't move towards the beast to attack it, can I?
Mm-mm.
Nah.
No. Well, I don't have anything else I can do with it, unless I'm forgetting something, like I usually would.
Healing word's a bonus action.
I still have my action.
Yeah.
If you're wounded, you could cure wounds yourself.
He's cast a spell.
Yeah, I've already cast the spell.
Fine.
So yeah, I can't do anything.
What cantrips do you have?
Thorn
She
Whip,
could whip
Poison
it.
Spray. I could whip it.
You have disadvantage, but if you've not got anything else to do with your action, you could just whip it.
Fuck it, I'll whip it. Bring it closer to me so I can just attack it next turn.
Yeehaw.
Big brain.
Yeehaw. It's yeehaw.
So do I roll with disadvantage for that?
Yeah. It is with disadvantage.
20
KL1.
KL 1 plus 7. A 19?
That'll
Oh
hit.
shit! What are the chances?
Single D6.
Thanks.
Oh, 2d6. Oh yeah, because you're a high enough level now.
Double.
And you're
Let's
pulling
go.
it towards you.
Do I have to pull it towards me, or can I just, like,
I
fuck
think
you?
it's a choice.
It's
I
a
think
choice. You can pull it towards you, but it'd just be funny.
Okay, I won't pull it towards me. I just want to.
Oh wait. If
Wait a
the attack
sec.
hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage, and if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you. It's not like you can pull the
Oh,
creature 10
damn
feet
it.
closer to you.
So it
But
is
you can only move it 1 foot if you want, Paul, because it's up to 10 feet
yeah,
closer.
you could
No,
literally
no,
just
wait,
shove the
moves
forward.
one
No,
foot
wait.
closer to me.
I have a thing. Pull it 10 feet towards you. Because
Oh.
it's leaving my attack area, so I get an opportunity attack on it. Because I have Sentinel.
I pull it towards me.
Full
This could
10
go
feet.
awfully.
I will use my Sentinel reaction as it leaves.
Just don't miss.
Fuck.
That's a miss.
Well, great.
It's
Now
now,
it's just next to me.
it's now right in front of you, Paul.
It's now right in front of you. Yep. I did that.
As I need a wisdom save from you as well.
No, it's right in front of you.
13.
That's 6 psychic damage.
Oh, it's more than a d4. Oh, it's more than a
6 psychic
d4.
damage.
Okay. Swell.
My notes just say combat time. Oh no.
Knuckles, oh no.
As
I'm in
Ranagash.
danger.
Oh boy.
Mrs. Obama getting
Just do what I was doing and try fumbling for the one runestone I can use.
You don't want to try
Well-
and jump over your manacles?
No, because I will break something, and that something will be me.
You might not. You have an 18.
I think he just kicked away some of his runestones.
Oh! Yeah. You're
You see
starting
Vicious
to
Mockery, and it just goes flying to the other end of the room.
you're starting to panic a bit now, to the point where several of your runestones just kind of slide to the other side of the room.
Ewan, when do we just leave? Paul, you don't happen to have lesser restoration, do you?
No, I don't.
Pretty sure you can cure. No, you can't cure frightened with lesser restoration. Oh fuck.
Can you roll me a D100, Matthew?
Oh boy.
He just has a vision in the middle of fucking battle, and he's just lying there.
Oh, you're 3 points off of greatness. As
I'm scared.
he's okay, he's not having a vision. Don't worry, Matthew, I'm not that mean. As you're obviously fumbling with your runestones, you're getting closer and closer to your stuff. And as you do so, you start to hear a voice in your head, as you're not too far from your shit. You look like you're fumbling there. Need some help?
Take it, I can like respond and that I have the time.
Yep.
Ghost wizard, ghost wizard.
Ghost wizard. Are you offering to help?
If you can shuffle another few feet, perhaps.
Well, I don't have any better options right now. You know. I don't know. What am I doing?
Shuffle towards
Act frightened, Matthew. Act frightened.
frightened shuffles.
Ah,
Matthew's friendly's expression. As you get into your stuff, obviously Sinmaya is there. You don't need your runestones to cast his spells, which means you have several options that could either be used to help you or, I guess, perhaps hinder the beast, depending on what you want to do.
do they still require somatic components?
No, because you're casting them using him. It's essentially him casting the spell for you. You obviously just need to be in contact with him.
So what's the range? How big is this room?
About 45-50 feet, kind of a long-ish rectangle. About 40 one way and then maybe about 50 feet the other way.
Are we about to witness something?
Do I have a visual on the Vicious Mockery runestone specifically?
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Yay! It is at
only
the
good
other.
roll he's made
It is
so
at the
far.
other side of the room with a few of your evocation runestones as well.
Okay. I'm going to cast Unseen Servant using the book to bring that one to me and put it in my hand. I'm wasting a spell slot to be able to cast a cantrip.
Also, isn't that an action to do?
It is, yes.
You can't even Vicious Mockery on your turn.
Nope.
However, it now means you do have this. You do have the runestone.
One spell I can cast. Alright,
You also have your ring as well, which I'm pretty sure is fully
Yeah.
charged. So
yeah.
you could turn Vicious Mockery into a bonus action.
You have to be really quick with your insult word load though this time. It has to be like a quip instead.
Right, wisdom save?
If it's the end of your turn, yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll leave it for this turn.
Maybe you should have done it, Matthew.
I'm afraid. This is fine.
5 psychic damage.
This is fine.
I'm feeling this is a D6. She's not rolled above 6 yet.
Don't jinx it. You jinxed a lot of
One
things
of
so
us gets
far.
hit with fucking 89 points of psychic damage and we die.
What, she's rolling a D100 and hasn't rolled it below a 6.
You also obviously still have the Unseen Servant up for the next hour as well.
Yeah.
Does it have any combat, like, abilities?
No, Craig, it's an unseen servant. It has a single hit point.
Yeah, 1 hit point,
Just
10
like poke
AC,
him in the back.
It
and like
has
2 strength.
1 hit point, 10 AC, and its entire purpose is to go around and pick up stuff for you.
Yeah.
It's like a
also,
Roomba.
him commanding the Unseen Servant to do that would have been his bonus action, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
As
fucking Roomba.
essentially, yeah, medieval Roomba. As Wolfric, it is your go.
Tape a knife to it. Medieval knife Roomba. Attack 1!
I need that. Alright, that'll hit.
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! Attack number 2. Let's not go, baby.
Yeah, that won't hit.
End my turn there.
It's the saddest way I've heard someone end their turn.
Let's go, baby! Let's not go, baby!
End my turn.
Every game you guys hear me go through the fucking 5 stages of grief.
We are still at denial.
It's a river in Egypt. Aha!
I wish you disconnected.
I'll disconnect your fucking head from your shoulders.
I'm assuming a 14 doesn't hit you, Craig.
Saying me? No.
But I'm assuming a 23 will hit you, Ewan.
Jesus Christ, yes it will.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
I have a question. Wait a second. I could make a reaction. I would like to make a reaction attack, please.
Because it made an attack against me. Wait, haven't you already used your reaction
Yeah.
to try attack it? When it... No, wait, no, because it's been
But
your
I
turn.
get my
It's a
reaction
new
back.
round.
I know.
You don't hit.
Tell me what the 23.
This is so sad.
Eh,
Alexa, play Despacito.
Ewan lives in despair.
I live in Spain.
Without the S.
Without the Spain, I don't live in Spain.
You take 6 damage.
Ouchie.
Poison already halved.
Let's go.
As can I get a strength saving throw from you, Wolfric?
I don't
Wait,
like
what did it
this.
roll to hit me again, by the way?
14.
4. Okay, I thought you said 16 for a second. I was gonna be like, wait, no, that does hit me. Alright.
14.
1d20 plus 7.
Cool, that does a fail. As it tries to bite into Eidolon, obviously Eidolon, you're quite deft and are able to move out of the way. Wolfric, you are not so lucky as the beast kind of turns around and you see these kind of almost transparent fleshy tendrils almost come off of it and beats you against a wall. You are now considered to be prone and are about 10 feet away from the creature. Marcus, however, it seems to be ignoring you as it turned its attention to Wulfric and Eidolon, though perhaps that is because it knows you are frightened and they are actually dealing damage to it. You're not too sure.
I suppose.
We're fucked.
As Eidolon, Wulfric is now prone and it just tried to bite you.
Ewan, I'm burning a key point for 4 attacks.
Do it.
Mad lad.
Muda.
Okay, so that is 18,
Hit.
19,
Hit.
nat 20,
Not hit.
and a non-nat 20. So,
All 4
Is
will
that
hit,
4 hits?
double your third damage.
okay. So essentially, more just aesthetically, dodging out the way of the bite, it would just be taking the sword, driving it up through its jawline. I'm aware it's essentially an undead creature, so it can most likely just regenerate all these injuries anyway. Just
Your
take it
back
in,
jaw.
grab it again, pulling it back out, slashing across the neck, then taking the fist, punching in once, and then the last stack essentially just letting the tendrils spread around its body, cutting into it, and then ripping them out. This is all magical damage because my sword is now master worked. 2d10 plus.
Amogus.
So that is 19 damage, and then that is 17 damage. And then I'll do the not crit first, just to keep it easy for you.
I mean, I'm still having
That
to do
is-
math, so...
12 damage, and then that's 9 doubled 18 damage.
Feck. Okay, so 30, 47, 57, 66.
Quite a lot of damage in one turn.
It is.
Amogus.
The creature, however, is looking unfazed.
That's not what-
Ah!
As
That's gonna be me though. I want to keep this key point just in case.
Marcusar, you're frightened.
Yeah, I'm frightened.
This thing is in front of you.
Scared boy.
It's scary.
This is you missed Pog Day. This is totally not a Pogger's Chungus moment.
Oh no.
That,
You
that physically
are the
hurt me to
Chungus
say.
imposter.
You were-
Both of you stop it, please. I can't. Just,
I bet you don't even like Brexit.
please stop. Please stop. Both of you, please. I beg of you.
I knew what you and me were thinking. This is Hyunk all over again.
I'm already fragile from work this weekend.
Ewan, stop being an owl.
That's how I stop myself from laughing. Don't point out that it sounds like an owl, because that makes it funny.
And you're just hooting though.
Anyway.
Paul, what do you do?
Yeah. I would like to conjure animals. Specifically, 2 bears.
Okay.
Fuck this shit, I'm frightened. Animals.
Yes. I can't do shit like fuck. Let
Fuck
them do
this.
some shit.
Fuck this shit, I have bears.
Yeah.
What flavor of bear, Paul?
Flavor of bear?
Is it black or brown?
I think it has to be
They-
black.
They have
because-
different CRs. So.
No. Is black a half and then brown's 1?
Black's half, brown is 1, so he could do either.
Yeah, so you could do you could have either.
If it's a half, could I have 4? I can't remember the numbers.
If you're summoning black bears, you could have 4
Four, if
bears.
you're summoning brown bear, you can have
brown,
2.
have 2.
I'm gonna summon 4 black bears. So this basement we're in, like,
It's
is
now
it
getting
like very?
pretty full.
These bears can make 2 attacks.
I imagine the bears sort of like whatever stones or pebbles or whatever's in this room, all just sort of like manifesting out of the ground, and these I don't know, dirty, rocky sort of bear conjurings sort of appear in front of me, and I command them to attack the fucking thing.
Alright, I now have the stats for black bear.
Yes.
It's essentially 8 attacks from the bears, which is kind of
Yeah.
nutty.
Do you do anything else in your turn?
I suppose who's needing healing?
Ewan.
I'm on the floor.
I'll check
Everybody
another.
wants to
Oh yeah, I'll
die
check it.
or-
Yeah, if you're down, I'm gonna assume that you're taking a big hit, and I'm gonna chuck another healing word your way. So
Gonna keep you up here just in case I need you again. Can be guarded by Furret.
Who's rolling initiative for the bear? Is it you or Paul? Cool.
You get some 9 HP back.
Summon a fucking grizzly. Have you ever seen me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear?
As coming to the end of your turn, Paul, I need a wisdom save again.
Please, can I pass this?
Got good wisdom.
That is a pass.
Yeah.
You are not the chosen person.
As you are no longer frightened.
Ewan.
Let's go.
As Matthew. Ranagash still
Okay,
is
The only one
frightened.
frightened.
Bonus action, I'm gonna command the unseen servant to clean up my shit. Because I cannot. And I feel like undoing manacles is beyond his capabilities right now.
Yeah.
And with my action, I'm gonna turn to the bear, not the bear, the wolf thing, and I'm just gonna fucking growl at it and cast Vicious Mockery. I'm having a bad day.
Having a bad day.
He's trying to out alpha the alpha wolf.
Can I get a wisdom save, please?
25.
Oh,
Just passes, you know, just by a bit.
a little.
A little
Just a
bit.
smidgen.
Marginal.
Marginal pass.
Does this
you know.
thing have a dump stat?
Yes.
It's got a dump truck, apparently.
Also yes.
Did you give this werewolf a gigantic ass?
I mean, I needed to for Paul.
Wait, no one said anything about a gigantic ass.
Exactly. You're exactly why. You are exactly.
I had to quote that, Ewan, I'm sorry.
Is it? Put it in fucking
It
quote.
was too good. It was too
You
good.
should have added accusatory tone.
As Matthew can, if
Yeah,
words,
I got nothing else on my turn, so wisdom save.
wisdom save,
Hey, that's the third 10.
3 psychic damage
I'm slowly dying.
from your own fears.
Very, very slowly, but still.
It's getting there.
Slow death is a death nonetheless.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Essentially, at this point, all it would need
By
more is
1,000
just
panic
rolling
attacks?
1. As Wolfric,
Me, get up from prone, run at it, 2 attacks.
go.
I have no other purpose. I swingy axe.
It's my entire character concept. That misses. That
Strength
doesn't
save,
miss.
please.
Strength save time.
21.
Ah!
It still takes the damage.
I lied. 23.
It still takes the damage.
Well, are you a character from Arc 5?
Fuck off.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh joke, sorry Matthew.
I could see the visible confusion in Matthew's face. Ah. Right, this is when my turn gets a bit fucky.
Bears.
Bears.
You're a third-rate fighter with a 4th-rate constitution.
Okay, so that would be...
Just AoE and kill all of his bears.
What do you think I'm trying to work out in my head?
Bear time.
Okay.
Paul
So,
just casually summons a bear.
can the 4 of you give me a perception check? Or insight, whichever one you're higher in, it's up to you.
I wonder.
Hey.
21.
10.
Hey.
You're actually better at
Jeez.
perception checks, Matthew, than you are insight checks. When you've got a -1 to fucking perception checks. Wolfric, you have no excuse. You have a +3.
I have a +9.
Shut up.
Eidolon, you are the only one that notices this. So it still stays within your kind of, I guess, range for attacking. But the beast itself seems to maneuver itself. Kind of moving itself around, I guess, yourself, the bears, Wolfric, Marcusar. And as it deals this attack, to which case I need Marcusar, Eidolon, and Wolfric to roll me a Constitution saving throw. It seems to purposefully try to avoid Ranagash.
Yeah, put that together. That's an 11. This is
fair.
gonna hurt.
That's a
19 for me.
big fail, Ewan.
Does that mean I take double damage?
Yes.
This is not very This is not very good. This is not looking.
This is not
Things
Pog.
aren't looking good for. Things are not looking good for your old pal Wolfric.
He's reached bargaining.
He's reached bargaining. Okay, so I need to split the bears into two because one set of bears are fine and the other set of bears are not
I
fine.
think this is acceptance. I think this is acceptance.
We'll see how much damage it is and then we can see if we're at acceptance yet. Okay, so it's 3. How many d6 do I have?
This is its turn, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the sound of this.
I got fucking stressed for a second that it was doing this at like the end of Wolfric's turn.
Why can't I math? 6, 12, 17, 18.
Depending on the damage type, it might be halved for you, Yun.
Yeah.
So Wolfric, you take 18 damage. That's it
Yes.
doubled and then halved.
Let's go.
So do all of us take 18 then?
Everyone bar Marcusar who takes 9.
Let's go. But I'm pretty low.
45.
So one set of your bears are fine. The other set would be 36 on that. That's not a lot of health.
How many bears did you summon?
4.
4.
He has 4
bears?
bears.
Question M, was that a considered a missile or ranged weapon attack?
Fuck off.
No.
Shut up.
However, the issue with this now going forward is the area that is, yourself, Eidolon, Wolfric, Marcusar, and obviously your bears are standing in is now caustic.
Caustic.
So
Covered in acid.
the longer you spend in this area, which is now considered to be difficult terrain, it's kind of like this little 30-foot corner of this area, like this cellar, is considered to be difficult terrain and is acidic
I'm resistant to that. I'm okay.
for now.
I'm not!
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to be essentially almost downed.
Okay,
I'm not even beneath half yet, Ewan.
bears. One set of your bears are useless, Paul. The other one's less so.
I'm sitting back.
That's good to hear.
It's just your head today, Ewan. It's kind of weird.
He's so far away.
We just have a head cam.
He's so
It looks
low
like
down.
it looks like a child who's walked in on the D&D campaign.
Mom, I threw up.
He's
Just
literally
lift
so
up your
low.
shoulders, Ewan.
He's so
There we
low
go.
on my screen, he's starting to fade into the black bar at the bottom that's got his title on it. He's just a set of arms at this point.
There he goes.
He's gone.
Yeah, so one of your set of
I'm
bears
on
are
a
actually
birthday,
quite useful.
Jesus runs.
Okay.
The other one, not so much. However, they are also still animalistic, so this might kill them.
Oh shit.
1,
Hoggers.
Are they
2.
gonna burn
Wait,
alive
that's
in
not.
acid?
That's not right.
No, it's not.
They're not alive. They're magic.
They are magic.
Animal cruelty is a-okay when they're not organic.
Okay. Paul, 2 of your bears are dead.
Okay.
The acid that is on the ground
Right.
burns through the rock and just dissolves them entirely. 2 of them, however, are still okay. They're just not looking the best.
Shouldn't have named the first 2.
Should have named the second 2.
Should have
As
named them at all.
Yeah.
Eidolon,
Mm-hmm.
it is your go.
They're all
Is it
called
possible to
Marcusar
maneuver
Jr.
myself around the big wolf fucker so that I'm no longer in the acidic area?
Yes.
Would I be close to Ranagash in that instance? Considering it was quite close to us when it breathed the acidic stuff.
You would be closer to him, but you'd still be a little bit further from him, because obviously you're still trying to stay within its radius. So obviously
Yeah,
it doesn't
no,
get
that's
attack
fine.
on you, but you would be closer to him, yeah.
Sometimes maybe a battle map might be helpful in the future, just for like
know.
visualizing things like this. I'm gonna burn a key point, my last one, and just go for the 4 attacks again because that's been going effectively. Let's just hope I can hit them these times.
Oh, wait. Is
That
this
is 18.
Yep.
That is 23.
Yep.
That is 16.
Yep.
Oh, and that is 25.
Yep.
Ooh.
Whilst he's rolling damage, what were you going to say, Paul?
Is this thing that we're fighting considered an animal?
No.
Okay.
On
So
what
speak-
fucking planet?
I agree
On what
with you in
fucking
here.
planet would a tentacle werewolf be considered an animal? Fucking Mars, Paul.
I was
Right, so,
just looking through my spell list and I saw Speak with
Here is-
Animals and like,
here is
maybe
all of
let's
the damage as
reason
one.
with the beast.
Pardon?
Here's all the damage as one roll.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
46 damage.
Even if you could, on what planet would a creature that just fucking werewolf shat acidic diarrhea over the fucking battlefield would ever consider negotiating with us?
So
You
essentially,
just
to
torpor
emphasize that after Ewan's creative description there, essentially just taking a quick leap out of the acidic matter, taking the sword, cutting to the side of it, spinning around the back, stabbing in the back, leaving it there for a second, grabbing hold of the handle of the sword with the tendrilled arm, and letting the tendril seep down the blade, to essentially stab further into it a few times before pulling it back out. I dig martial aesthetic.
So coming to the end of Eidolon's turn, the four of you will be able to watch as you're not too sure how you noticed or didn't notice it before, but the creature itself seems to have different portions of his body that almost have a little purple hue to them or almost glow slightly. It seemed to glow quite vibrantly when it brought up its caustic vomit, and those, I guess, pustules that were glowing start to glow again.
Oh, fuck.
As it's Paul's turn.
Okay.
Maybe recharged the thingy? Is all I guess.
That's maybe a fair assessment.
We're about to get
Um,
murdered.
So there's this like weird acid shit all over the floor between us and it.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been able to back away from it though.
Yeah. Hold on. Need to look up the spell to make sure I don't fuck some shit up.
Yeah, just Speak with Animals is a great spell early game, but as you get into later game, you just never come across any animals anymore that will speak to you with it.
I was just curious, you know.
I appreciate the tenacity to ask if the giant undead monster creature from hell was an animal.
Mindless violence and reason with them.
I'm surprised that you didn't quote the on what planet is this creature considered an animal? Fucking Mars.
I was rolling damage, sorry.
The only thing that I'd maybe ever, like, I guess bend the rules of Speak with Animals for is if it was originally considered to be a beast. Like, a werewolf, just in general, isn't considered a beast, so you wouldn't really be able to speak with it then.
Werewolves are people.
I also don't even know if this is a werewolf or it just looks kind of like a werewolf.
If I have a spit, all my fucking things are concentration. I need to stop choosing concentration spells.
Is Conjure Animals concentration?
Yes. So
fuck.
if I did anything else, I'd break concentration.
It's-
The bears would disappear.
It's kind of the shitty thing about druids is a lot of their spells are quite good, but a lot of them are concentration.
Yeah. God. Everything is concentration.
Oh, maybe start picking like instantaneous spells.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's enough space here for Call Lightning.
Well, it's got to be another Thorn Whip, I guess.
Whip it good.
You're no longer frightened, so that's a bonus.
Yeah.
No disadvantage. This will be when he misses without disadvantage, but hit before with disadvantage.
That's a hit.
16.
Oh, pretty sure that
Cool.
is its AC.
It is, yes.
5.
Whip it good.
I'm gonna move it a foot closer to me.
A single foot. Are you spending your turn still in the acidic substance?
Wait, I'm still in it?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
unless you're moving out of it.
I'll move out of it, sure. I didn't realize I was in it. I thought it was between us.
Okay. Are you skirting around it, or are you actually moving away from it?
I need to answer carefully.
Essentially, do you want to get hit or do you want to stay close?
I think I would just move directly out of it instead of skirting around it.
Cool.
Here it comes.
24.
To hit?
I think that hit.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say damage. I was like, oh shit.
Nope. I'm now rolling damage.
Great.
I just need to find all my
This is when
dice.
it's more than 24.
I don't think it's possible for it to roll more than 24. Unless I roll max damage. 3, 6, 10, 12, 13, Math, what's 13 plus 4? 17.
17.
You take 17 damage.
And I am down.
As
Oh!
you try to obviously leave the caustic substance, you try to run away from it. You pull it that little bit closer towards you, probably not the best idea in your life, as you turn to get away from it, it rakes its claws against your back. It's very long nails, almost fitting perfectly into those marks on your back that you got in the drawing room. And Markstar falls on his face. Again.
Hey, it's
the bears
accurate enough to
disappear.
just aim for the same wound.
The bears disappear.
Oh shit, the bears are gone.
My turn. Attack time.
It's Matthew's turn,
it?
actually.
Oh, it's not my turn.
Excellent.
Ewan, calm
Right.
down.
I want to murder things. Okay, I do 2 things. I whack.
I'm
with
gonna
my
come
weapon.
to your house and just keep you in a back room until it's your turn.
You don't know where I
Okay.
live.
He
Not
knows where
yet.
you live on Wednesday.
So, going to
I won't be the only man at your window.
Matthew? You were saying?
I'm going to expend 2 charges of my ring to just double cast Vicious Mockery, because that's all I can do.
What's your insult, Matthew?
The first one is fuck, the second one is you. and I, with like as much vitriol it is possible to manage those 2 words with. Like, bad day. So 2 wisdom saves. Please.
17 and a nat 20.
Yeah, they both pass.
Matthew, you have portents. Maybe you should start using them.
They're good portents. 10 is, I reckon 10 is a little risky. And the only other one is an 18, which would pass.
Rough, buddy. My turn.
It is your turn now, Ewan.
Finally,
Wisdom
sorry.
save.
Yeah, oh, Matthew's
Versus-
wisdom save as well. That's a pass, you're no longer frightened, Matthew.
Hey.
That 21 will hit as well, Ewan.
Strength save.
Where'd you go? Oh, there it is.
You can re-roll a 2. Yeah, there we go.
24.
Fuck.
This thing just doesn't want to roll low. It's just choosing not to.
That will also hit.
I'm getting right up to this thing.
As it is its go.
What about the acid?
Oh yeah, you're still in the acid.
Yeah, I can't really. I'm right up to it. I don't think I can really get out of it. Even if I was like skirting it, I'd still be getting
4 damage.
4 damage.
That's
Is that
nice.
already
He
half
gets
score?
That is already halved. There will be some point where I forget to half it and I will have to remath, but for now I'm halving it.
Okay. Okay. Come on, attack me, big boy.
I need to... Bears are gone, so it's not going to do that. Eidolon is still there. Wolfric's still there. Ran is on floor.
All 3 on me. All 3 on me. Let's go. Well, I can take it. Put me in, chief. Put me in, coach. I can take it.
I think it hates me
let
a
me
little
tap
more
in.
right now because I hit it quite big.
Let me tap in, I can do this. Probably do that again. A 16 won't hit you, Wolfric, but a 25 will hit you, Eidolon, yeah?
25 will hit me, yeah.
Much dice. Oh, I've not used these ones yet. I also need a Constitution saving throw from you, Craig.
That's fun.
12.
That is a 19.
Cool, you pass, you're alright. You also take 9 piercing damage.
Yeet.
As it is now your go, Craig.
Oh, that's it.
It tries
if
to
it
whip
just
out one of
stab-
its tendrils, but Wolfric is able to get out of the way of it.
Wait, can I use my reaction because it attacked someone within my reach?
Also, is the tendril considered a ranged weapon attack?
Technically, yes, but it didn't attack you with its tendrils. It attacked you with its
Let's
spike.
go.
You hit it.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
It kind of latches onto you, it bites you. Wolfric is able to dodge out of one of its tendrils, kind of almost ducking under it as he is able to get the axe into its side, dealing quite a hefty chunk of damage.
More just if it's tried to bite me, it's more just taking a hand, putting it against it's probably like the bit between its snout and going up to its eyes, taking the sword and attempting just to drive it into that bit in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, have to see if I hit. 24 to hit.
That'll hit. Oh, fuck.
I'll roll damage just because I like the aesthetic of that. That is 22 points of damage.
Nice.
More just keeping it stabbed in. I'm just going to take it, and again, because it's undead, try to rip it out of the bit I've gotten it stuck in. Does a 19 hit? That's 22 points of damage again.
How would you like to kill it?
Oh, okay. In that case, keep it a bit more simple. Grabbing it by there, taking it, stabbing it into the side of its head instead. Taking a hold of the sword again, ripping it out, and I like to imagine it sort of just backing off a tiny bit, taking the sword again, swinging it right through, and just decapitating it.
I'll do it.
As it seems to turn into more of this caustic fluid on the ground, kind of starting to bubble away even some of the stone. As the four of you are out of combat.
Marcus are still bleeding out.
Yeah.
Who wants to help out their old buddy Marcusar?
Wolfert, can you do first aid?
I can try.
Remember what happened last time you did first aid? Ran got a failed death save.
I'll attempt it.
If you're attempting that, I'll go try get Ran out the manacles, at least assist him in getting out.
Yeah, you're not helping the situation. Wolfric. Paul, you're on one fail.
Cool. Thank you for that.
This is where he rolls at nat 1.
We'll fucking speak it into existence.
As
Fucking do that.
Craig, give me a sleight of hand to try and help Ranagash out of the manacles.
That is a 11.
Nope.
Ran, do you want to try help yourself whilst I'm here?
I can certainly try. Would it be sleight of hand from me as well?
It depends
Or would it be...
how you're trying to do it.
I'd imagine... Would I even have the maneuverability to try and pick my own lock?
No.
No, so it'd have to be straight athletics, like, just rip it apart, which isn't going to happen. So no, I will not help myself.
What's happening with Paul?
As what do you do, Wolfric? As you don't seem to be able to tend to the injury at all. If anything, you're kind of making it a bit worse.
Can I try CPR?
Are you sure, bro?
Big gash in someone's back, he's bleeding out. It's like, can I plump the blood but faster?
Can I... I've got... If I reach into my explorer's pack, I've probably got some tarpaulin, right? Would I be able to wrap that around his chest?
Almost trying to stave the bleeding.
Yeah.
Close up the wound. Give me a medicine, yes. That's another failed death save, Paul.
Everything I do! I'm not
Can I say what I'm gonna do before any more
Just a single
cataclysms
death
happen
save?
over
That was
there?
a 1.
That is a single death save. I was essentially, because he's trying to use tools to heal you, you wouldn't have taken any fails for that, unless it was a 1.
Can I say what I'm doing before
Yes.
Ewan kills Paul again? So noticing that just trying
sorry.
to pick the lock isn't working with basic tools, I'm going to take the tendrilled hand, grab hold of the lock, and just attempt to crush it.
Cool, give me a strength, but obviously
With that,
not strength.
can I use athletics?
It would be with your wisdom, yeah.
Can I use athletics, however?
Yeah.
Nice. Paul, I'm very scared for what's going to happen to you. That's a 16.
Cool. You are able to crush obviously the chains. The shackles are obviously still on. The pins are still in them. But the chain is broke. You can move your hands again, Ran. They're just kind of a little clinky.
As I'd more just point back towards Wolfric and Marksar and just say, can you help at all with that?
I'm afraid not. -1 to wisdom, or in medicine.
Marcus Wolfric's got blood on his hands and he's fucking shaking and he's freaking out. And...
It's like, I can't do this again, not again, not again.
Do I have the time to go try help him?
You would, yes.
Okay, so just standing up from Ran, just essentially directing Ran to just stand himself up and get his shit clear. I'm going to go over, get Wolfric out the way for a second, grab hold of the tarp he was trying to use, and attempt to wrap that around myself. If Wolfric wants to help, that might be appreciated. Just holding it in place.
I'm not touching anything. I will
Alright.
kill him again.
Ranagash, can you give me a history check?
+3, okay.
Marcusar's not made a death save yet. This is concerning.
Cool.
Yeah.
As you see Eidolon go into this and you're gathering your shit, you have the sudden recollection that both, well, Wulfric and Marcusar have water in their skins from the healing pool from the Temple of the Precursors.
That he does. do we still happen to have any of that water from the spring in that temple? Marcus seemed to do something for him.
I'm going to shrug because I legitimately have no idea.
I don't have it on my character sheet that I have it.
Because the only two that took some from my own notes was Wulfric and Marcusar.
Yeah, but if it's not on his sheet, he probably doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Unless you want to, he
And
has it.
even if I did take it, I'm not going to count it if it isn't on my character sheet.
Yeah.
So Matthew, that's up to you if you want to do anything with it, because Eidolon has no clue, and Wolford doesn't seem to have it.
Lads, can we not? Take me to anyone.
Right,
You're going to bleed out before then.
right, well, Wolfric will pick him up and we'll start, like, fucking trying to get us out of the... We'll check his shit. Make an investigation check.
Radagast, go check his shit. I'm going to apply basic bandages.
Don't need
I'll
to
have to make a
investigate.
death save at some point, because he's
I mean, he's
lying there.
unconscious for a very long time. I would think so.
He's lying
one.
there.
I need one death save from you, Paul.
No.
Just the D20, yeah?
I mean, there is someone in the party who could give you a hand.
Yeah. Do you want that
Matthew.
18? I mean, the 10
You could
will
have
work.
used that on Wolfric's medicines too.
Yeah. I have some faith. He seemed
Don't!
to know what he was doing.
Too much faith.
Do you have to give the portents before I roll?
Yeah, before
Yes.
the roll.
You have an 18,
So
Paul.
what are you
have a
giving me?
pass.
18.
Okay. Should I just
You have
roll just
one
to see
pass.
what would have happened?
You've got one pass. You can roll to see
Oh.
if you what would have happened anyway if you want,
Roll for the fun of it. This doesn't count though.
but you've got one pass.
He would have died.
Thank God you have one pass. As
Yeah.
Eidolon, I need a medicine from you, and Ranagash, give me an investigation as you're kind of, I guess, more panicking, trying to find some stuff.
That's a 22 on the medicine.
Cool. You have another pass, Paul.
Thank God.
Hey.
You are able to find his water skin. There's
Okay.
perhaps only 1 or 2 drops left in it. Probably shouldn't have been drinking it casually, eh, Paul?
Paul looks like it. I think it. Gonna leave this up to fate. Oh no.
No, I have one more.
What's your last portent, Matthew?
It's a 10.
And
That's
what's
a-
your rulings on that? Because I do 10s as fails because it's 1 through 10, then 11 through 20
through
for the
20.
same number. So a 10 would be a fail.
Hmm.
So Paul's gonna have to roll.
Oh God.
Yeah,
This...
for me at least it's 1 through 10 because that's the same number of numbers as 11 through 20. So
Yeah.
it makes more sense.
I mean, to be fair, it is that way because D&D is meant to be heroic fantasy. And so it's meant to be slightly in your favour, but
Yeah, but
they're evil.
No, I rolled 1 to 10 and then 11 to 20. It's probably where Craig got the 1 to 10, 11 to 20.
Okay.
the
So-
only reason I do that though is because it's way too easy to survive in D&D if you've got a person with a healing spell.
So, have I got to make a death save right now?
Yes.
Matthew,
Yeah.
do you want to trickle some of those droplets down his throat?
Just the 2 little drops, you know what?
It might give him advantage on the death save.
We're out of options here.
Oh my god. You
Uh,
need to bite the bullet.
I can see you and just slowly getting smaller and smaller in the background. Paul, I need you to roll me, hopefully not your last death save of this campaign, but you do have it with advantage.
These are
That's what's
decent
like-
odds.
I just want to say, this has been the best campaign. And I've had a lot of fun playing with you guys so far, and I wish you the best of luck for the future.
He's writing his obituary.
Oh my fucking god. No. No.
Oh no!
No! No!
Paul has died not once,
But twice.
but twice. Oh, Paul! Oh, Paul!
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You were two of them.
Oh.
As I think for now, we should probably take
Break?
a small break there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll we'll see you all when we come back.
I think we have some things to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
as we come back from break.
Dear God.
For recording purposes, that was one of the longest breaks we've ever had. But it was very, very well worth it, as we had to discuss many things. Many D&D deep chats.
Me and Matthew just vibed, as we do in game too.
As coming back from break, Marcusar is dead. The Beast is dead. The Lord is dead. Simon is dead. And the three of you are in the basement.
You're all looking pretty sus right now.
Wolfric is going to pick Marcusar's body up. We need to take him to the Halls of Faith.
Ranagash, make sure he gets there.
Yes.
I need to do this as one thing that I can do right. Wolfric will head up.
Essentially just calling after you and just for like verification purposes. I'll meet you outside of the Halls of the Faith when you're done.
Wolfric nods.
As in more just gesture for Ran. You can either go with him and make sure he actually gets there, or, as he more just gestures around, you're welcome to comb through the Lord's Manor, but I'd recommend the first.
Yeah, I'll leave you to that.
Should I do my thing first, or?
Yeah, as you are left alone with Wolfric and Ranagash leaving.
As I still have the tendrils active because it's 10 minutes. Look at the Lord's body.
Mhm.
Let the tendrils sort of intensify for a second and just... You are it, correct? Speaking to Blight.
What do you mean by it?
It can bring things back from the dead, and it can peer in the minds of that which is already dead.
Then I am it.
Can you bring the Lord back so that we can see what happened here?
Not your old buddy, Marcus.
I don't think you'd want to be brought back like this, Paul. If you remember the scene in Witcher 3 on Ard Skellig where Yennefer brings back the guy in the gardens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Oh,
want to be
yeah.
brought back like that.
Do you want to be brought back like that, Paul?
Yeah.
Will you let me?
As long as by the time we leave here, I'm back in control. This benefits me, granted, but this also tells you where they are. You lose out by not taking this deal.
They were here and we know they are close. We can kill everyone in this town to find them.
And that is something we are not going to do, surprisingly. You might have a disregard for life, but I do not. And it's up to me whether you're able to do this right now or not. We are going to bring the Lord back. We are going to peer through his memory. We will find where they are, and we will kill them there.
Are you asking or commanding?
You may have brought me back to life, but for the time that you are here, you may not do what I say, but now you will do as you are told. Bring him back.
No.
So what? You don't want to know where they are?
I will not be commanded by some insect I gave life to.
So you simply wish to let them get away then? As I will not be giving you control anywhere else in this town. You said it yourself, they're close. And you're stating now you wish to give up that chance.
I will not give you the satisfaction.
And for yourself to lose it. You want to be out of this body as quickly as possible.
Silence.
I can't tell if you're saying that or if you're saying that in regards to...
No,
I don't know what you meant by that.
That is your response. You get silence.
I'm going to say this one last time. We lose them here and potentially lose any chance of catching up to them. Ever. Or you bite Pride once and bring him back to life.
I will do so if you learn your place.
Does learning my place involve murdering everyone in this town?
Kneel and give me control.
I'll do one of those things. The other means you lose and lose any chance of finding them here. For me to grasp how you want this to work, you have to come to a grasp of what I... that's also not right. I'm tripping over my words here. I'm sorry. You must also come to a grasp of how this is going to work.
How this
You will
works
take
is
control
I give
and
you
you will
life.
bring him back to life.
I will
That
not.
was oddly well timed.
I will not.
Then I will not either. And you've lost your one chance. Now the two of us. Seems I'm the only one who can actually wait. As I'm going to light a tinderbox.
You get silence.
Well, then I'm burning the body then.
You almost feel a twitch in your neck. You can feel it in your arm. Your left arm kind of tenses ever so slightly. You can feel a slight pain almost in your chest, but still silence.
Then yeah. I'll essentially toss the match at the lower part of the body, just so for that sixth sense of satisfaction, because I win either way here. Because it doesn't get the info, or it does what it's told. I'll let the fire creep out from the legs up, and essentially force it to watch as I'll continue watching it.
As you watch the body burn slowly, and you can feel the pain slowly start to encompass your chest, though still silent, as it almost twitches.
Just as it reaches, like the fire's reaching the head, I'll essentially just, with a smirk, because Eidolon knows he's winning through this, even through the pain. I can still stop the fire, you know.
No response.
Tough luck, as I'd crush the skull of the mare with my foot. A lord with my foot.
Your foot gets a little
Foot's not
toasty, but
infected.
yes. As you watch the bodies burn, and I assume leave the Lord's Manor?
Mm-hmm. It was a stone chamber, yes?
Yes.
Then I'll close the door, because that'll keep the fire in.
Yeah, nothing.
It won't have anywhere to spread.
Nothing will burn. It'll burn out once the body turns to ash.
Like, if there's barrels down there, obviously those will burn, but like, there's nothing else to catch.
The room was empty because obviously it was used for this purpose. So
House fire, just close the door.
so it kind of it will just burn out.
As more giving Wulfric the time to head to the Halls of Faith and Peace, I'm going to head up to tracking back where I remember being taken for the Lord's office.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if I can't do this a supernatural way, I'll do this the natural way and sort through his files and such.
Head up and give me an investigation.
Juliosa? Yeah, if the supernatural isn't working, I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. 11!
Cool. He doesn't seem to have a lot of, I guess, personal effects detailing much. He has natural correspondence. You find the stuff that he detailed to Ranagash, for example, as well as some correspondence from the Citadel, just invitations mostly. You don't find anything, I guess, pertaining to this incident, though you do find quite a lot of dismissals.
Dismissals of essentially the case happening.
No, of the staff.
Okay.
There's, when you finally sort through them, perhaps maybe 30 of them, if not a little bit more.
I'll take those as the closest thing we have to base evidence. As before I leave, I would also like to check on the girl who's been essentially entrapped here. Sorry, I have to do the rounds in here before I can actually leave.
She is in her room.
I'd give a knock on the door if I can see her, essentially see her through the keyhole.
You would be able to see
Sounds
her
pretty
shadow,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd essentially give a knock on the door.
Come in.
I'd open the door.
Oh, hello.
The Lord is dead. He was the one causing the disappearances around town.
What happens now?
Well, the Sentinels will still stop you from leaving, obviously, but you're welcome to head out with me. I need to at least try explain the situation to whoever's in charge here. Whether they believe me or not, I frankly don't care. But you're welcome to leave with me.
I don't know where I'd go afterwards.
In town, there's a library of sorts named the Scriptorium. Person who works there is from where I'm from, which is literally right next to the it is Vonrel, yes. Literally right next to the Vonrel Woods. You can stay there until we find a way to get you sent back, or he finds a way for you to be sent back.
Then yes, I will come with you.
As I'd more just leave the door open. Feel free to pick up anything, though to my knowledge you don't have very much.
She doesn't pick up anything.
I was just going down, I'd more just go into the explanation that the Lord was essentially bastardizing it for simplicity's sake. The Lord was summoning a demon, and the demon was the thing that was killing things. Because in essence, that's exactly the truth. But it's leaving out a lot of intricacies.
You get a very similar experience coming out of the manor and going into the courtyard as Ranagash and Wulfric will have had. The Sentinels will have given you some strange looks Obviously you're carrying a body, but because Marcusar there is no, I guess, obvious signs of death on him, they don't pay it much mind. They do kind of talk amongst themselves, and similarly, Eidolon, when you come out, they don't really pay you much mind until she appears, and then they pay you some mind. Wulfric and Ranagash obviously aren't here. They're already over the Palisades and starting making their way to the Halls of the Faith. You expected that, though.
I want to finish this so that Ewan can fully have his moment.
But I guess the sentinel that approaches you isn't one of the lackeys. It's one that you recognise as being Ost, as he kind of comes from the sentinel's barracks and approaches you and the young woman.
If I would have preferred to see anybody right now, well, you're literally one of the only two I would have wanted to see coming out of that barracks.
You're going to need to give me an explanation. And
it was the Lord. The easiest way to put it is that he was conducting rituals in his cellar, summoning a demon. His lackey was the one who was inscribing chalk upon the buildings. The beast would be summoned to those marks and kill the person. The Lord, said lackey, and the beast doing it are all dead.
You can see him almost pained expression as the words pass his lips. Do you have any evidence of that fact?
Eidolon would more just give a heavy sigh. Apart from numerous and, well, rather unsettling amount of dismissals, no. But I think you can already tell that I'm not bullshitting you here. Mainly because I have no reason to.
Yes, but I also can't go to my captain and say the Lord was doing this without evidence. As far as he's concerned,
you don't need to go to your captain with this. This girl here, take her to the scriptorium. I'll go tell your captain. You don't need to receive the butt end of anything.
No. I'll do it, but I will come with you.
But what about her then?
She can also come with you. I will take you both out of the Palisades. We can go to the scriptorium. At least if you're with me, you'll less likely face any problems leaving.
So what? Who's going to go to the captain?
I will eventually.
Fine.
At least when things calm down.
Well, you can take it by me that at least no more people are going to be going missing.
Well, at least that is some good news.
As Edmore just beckoned for the girl to come over and go with Ost over the Palisades to the scriptorium.
Yeah. As you walk in rather tense silence through the streets, as we pass over, not too far away, the route, passing over the rooftops, towards the Halls of the Faith, where Ranagash and Wulfric, you guys will have passed through the big doors and come into this rather splendorous building with its dedications not to the gods but to the different domains, where you have an altar for life, an altar for death, an altar for light, nature, arcane, war. It seems to be a bit more about what they represent rather than the gods themselves here in this church. The only idols that are there are for the Hyra, the five. As the two of you walk in with a dead Marcusar.
I will immediately try and find one of the clergy helping wandering around, and I walk up and I'm like shaking. It's like, oh, please help. He's fallen. He's bled out. He's gone. Can you help him get a proper burial?
The woman you end up bumping into is quite wide-eyed as she stares at you. She is a high elf of sorts with kind of blonde hair, quite rosy complexion. She looks at you with very wide eyes. I can. Our priestess of death. She's currently in prayer, but come with me. I can take you into the embalming chamber. I'm sorry.
This was my fault. I will follow her to the embalming chamber.
She'll take you, obviously, back to the back of the church, away from a lot of the prying eyes of people, and into a very cold, dark room, perhaps 2 stories down, with already some dead corpses upon stone tables, though she leads you to an empty one for Marcusar.
gently place him down.
Where is he from?
He's from Summerhost. He is Father Marcus R. Wilde of the Green Hand, the Old Faith.
I know some of the Red Leaf. We can make sure he's given the rites of old. He'll have to be buried here. We wouldn't be able to send his body back without care, and we don't have travelling clergy.
Just do whatever you can, please.
She kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of takes one of your hands. She's very warm to the touch. I am truly sorry.
It wasn't supposed to happen again.
She kind of looks at you. I suppose looks towards the entrance to the embalming chamber, where I imagine Ran is kind of awkwardly standing in the corner. I don't know what happened before, but if you're looking for peace, perhaps you could find it in these walls.
Wolfric's expression softens. Can you leave me? I will head and find somewhere. Okay. Wolfric will head upstairs.
Are you?
Past Ran.
That's right.
Where does he go?
He goes to the altar for love. And he kind of prays in front of it, and he's like, in his head, he's like, I don't know if anyone's listening. I've never done this before, but I really need a path. I've caused too much bloodshed in my life. I've got someone to go home to, and I'm afraid that if I carry down this path any longer, I won't be able to make it back to them.
So, Ranagash, you watch as Wolfric kind of heads up. He seems to know his way around the church a little bit in terms of at least some of the dedications. You know that before he has prayed to Valka, the god of war. He has some, obviously, knowledge of the new faith. You yourself don't have much knowledge at all. You watch as he prays in front of quite a beautiful shrine to a stained glass rose, kind of blooming in spring. This beautiful flower. However, that's not the shrine that seems to answer his call, as he seems to be in an area dedicated to almost life, light, love, the good things in the world, and another altar seems to shine, though obviously Wolfric in his prayer doesn't seem to notice. As perhaps 2 pedestals over, there is an emblem with an 8-pointed golden sun sat upon it, seemingly carved out of pure gold. And you watch as a light starts in the centre and almost starts to spiral round the centre of the sun before it is glowing as bright as the sun. And this whole little alcove feels very, very warm. Almost like a summer's day. You can even feel the warm breeze start to fill the room. You can smell the fresh blooms, almost the pollen sticking to the air. Even starting to stick to Wolfric, you can see some of it just start to twinkle almost like stardust, just over his cloak and over his clothes. Wolfric, you yourself feel, I guess, a very warm hand on your shoulder. No one is touching you. No one is beside you. You see no shadow cast upon the floor, but it is a very delicate hand placed upon your shoulder. As you hear in your head a very soft voice. It wasn't your fault, but I see how you think it was. There are many that were your fault, and perhaps they didn't deserve it. But if you truly are sorry, and if you truly want to go home to her, perhaps you can start making up for it.
I want nothing more.
Then, before my light, promise me it will never happen to another.
It will never happen to another. I will protect those who deserve protection. I will give mercy to those who deserve it.
As, I guess in kind of a sad way, you feel someone kneel down beside you. You can feel the warmth of their clothes kind of almost drape across the backs of your knees, and you feel someone hug you. Not like a pity hug. It's almost like a sense of sympathy or compassion, like a sense of understanding that seems to wash over you as you almost feel your heart just skip a beat. As Ranagash, you watch as Wulfric begins to glow. He starts to shimmer and shine, just almost radiating all of this warmth, where the light slowly starts to fade from him, and it then seems to travel to his axe, where it travels up the hilt of his axe and over the blade, where he used to have this very ornate Nordic weapon, kind of this very big engraved axe. The handle itself seems to be made out of crystalline sunlight, as you watch as these leathers that have been weaved with iron turn gold. The blade itself, this very steel, like polished steel with the leather guard for his runic, or the ignium guard for his fire still on the hilt, starts to turn pearlescent white, with the emblem in the centre of it being that of a sun, just shimmering on his back. He seems to be none the wiser to this, however, despite seemingly the weight and style of this blade changing quite a bit. As you are left in your prayers, you feel you feel the warmth leave you, Wulfric. You feel the sensation disappear, and you almost feel, I wouldn't say a weight lifted from you, you almost feel even heavier, as you almost feel like you have a debt that needs to be repaid, and you can almost feel that weight physically on you. Perhaps it will leave one day when you have fulfilled your oath.
He did it. He went out and did it.
Wulfric is now a 7th level paladin.
What? You just
Completely
changed class?
changed from fighter?
Completely, he's now a paladin.
Wulfric,
Can I make the guess of redemption?
Yes.
Wulfric is now an Oath of Redemption paladin. The axe...
Completely,
Holy?
Yes.
He is an Oath of Redemption paladin. The axe that is now strapped to your back, Wulfric, is a very, very special axe, so don't go losing it. There's only one of it in the world. It is an artifact known as Ariane, which is a god's weapon.
And thanks to it, roughly thanks to it, not 100%, but roughly thanks to it, just for the guys, my charisma is now 18.
Was that because of the ASIs or because of the axe?
Because of the axe. So what the axe does is it essentially, not to his stat, so his base stat is still 12 for his charisma, but for his modifier it gives him an additional +3 to his modifier, which turns Wulfric's +1 to a +4. At least
is
for...
the axe any different from a D12, or... I'm assuming it is.
The axe itself is rather unique, as it is still a D12. However, it is not just a great axe. It has the ability of becoming a great sword and also a longbow.
What?
For a free action, Wulfric has the ability to change the appearance of his weapon. So it's not a bonus action to do it, it's not an action to do it. It is a free action, will of command, to change the aesthetic of this weapon. The weapon itself, you cannot alter its damage type. It is always considered to be radiant damage. So it
Radiant will do.
so it deals, like, if it's a longbow, it's a 1d8 radiant damage. If it's a great axe, it deals 1d12 radiant damage, and then if it's a great sword, it's 2d6 radiant damage. Obviously, your superiority and die and stuff would still apply, but that would take the weapon's damage die, which is also radiant.
It's really ironic because you could have taken that damage for Marcusar now because of the Oath of Redemption stuff. Oh, that's so fitting though.
As, yeah, Ranagash, you will have, I guess, seen this spectacle. Wulfric, you will have not seen it, you won't have felt it. You will have felt, as I described, almost this person comforting you, talking to you, as you give them your promise and give them your prayers. As, what would the two of you do?
Wulfric would probably get up. They'd walk over to Ranagash. We should be getting back to Eidolon.
Yeah.
Man, a few words there, Matthew. just an intricacy question just for you, Ewan, because of course you have this new weapon. What's your spell save DC? Is it the 18 treated by the axe, or?
It's the 18 treated by the axe. Everything to do with my charisma is the 18 treated by the axe. The aura of protection, spell save, spell
So essentially,
spare, spell
whilst
attack.
you have the axe on you, your charisma is now 18
Yes.
permanently.
Yes.
If he obviously loses it, then he obviously goes back to standard 12. Similarly,
No
if
need to put up that charisma anymore, Ewan.
if he does anything that is considered against his oath, he loses the charisma bonus. So if, for example, he gets the bonus to persuasion, he does not get it to intimidation.
So it's like he wouldn't get it to deception or intimidation, but he get it to like performance and persuasion,
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
He gets it to positive charisma actions.
I mean, deception can be applied positive.
I know, but if you're trying to lie maliciously, then
Yeah.
he wouldn't get it. I get you. I completely get you.
Because his entire thing is protection and mercy. Being intimidating or trying to big yourself up in front of someone or threaten someone isn't a good thing. As Eidolon, you obviously drop, I guess, the woman off, leaving her with Ost in the scriptorium. To obviously head back to the Halls of the Faith to meet up with Wulfric and Ranagash.
I would just give Ost a lowdown of essentially just what Barrow needs to know.
Yeah.
Which is, she was kidnapped by, essentially the way I'd want to be phrased is, she was kidnapped by exactly what you thought was going on in town.
As when you do eventually meet back up with Wulfric and Ranagash, given your passive perception, you will notice, obviously, Marcusar's not there, but you will also notice that the hilt of Wulfric's axe, you can see it kind of coming over the back of his shoulder, seems to be made of pearlescent and pure gold. He doesn't seem to have noticed.
First and foremost, are you doing alright, Wulfric?
Better.
Enough time to pick up a new axe then?
Wulfric will look back at the axe.
It is not your axe, it is an axe that seems to be made out of pure gold.
It's not the axe I wield, it's the meaning it holds.
And then what is your meaning then?
To not allow this to have happened again.
Eidolon would, essentially, he'd be standing with his arms crossed for a second, but then essentially just reach out his hand, almost for a handshake.
He'll take his hand.
Essentially just firmly grasp, shake your hand. Then let's not let it happen again.
Let us.
And tomato.
As obviously with this ordeal, with this time, it is now getting into the evening. It is now getting into nighttime. The sun is set and there is only a little bit of light left in the sky.
Alright, it's been a long day for all of us. Let's all head back, get some rest, and head off. First light tomorrow morning. We have tracks to cover.
Yes. Yes, we do.
As more just turning around, starting off, just stopping for a second. I don't mean to be condescending, but just one more time. You sure you're okay?
Being okay will take a long time. But I'm better for now.
That is one of the first old man things I've heard you say in quite a little while. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
As on the way back, probably just engage in just, not idle banter because it's not the time for that, but just getting back to a sense of casual discussion.
As you guys head back to the Sleeping Stag, you are still able to rent your rooms for the night. Whoever wants to, you can deduct 2 gold from your gold pouch.
I don't have any gold.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
As obviously it was 2 gold if you were staying an extra night, and you boys are.
I'll stay up and drink for just a little bit, as long as that's covered in the room fee. If not, I'm just gonna sit and order water, like the scumbag I am.
Wulfric will head to his room. He will now make it into a routine. So basically, if I don't say it, he will be doing this every night. He will pray, and then he will go to bed.
Is that the big Giuliera you've got now?
It is the big Giuliera, yeah.
I mean, good time for it. Venomir was brought up here.
It is, yeah.
That's the best time for Liara to come up.
Oh, ow, that was
What are
sore.
you doing, Ran?
Not much, I don't think.
How are you going to get these off, Ran?
Yeah, I still have those.
Do you want to have a sit down at me at the bar, Ran, and we can try get them off? Because I've got a better deck than you.
We can certainly try.
I'd essentially just beckon you over, pull up one of the, essentially seats at the table I'm sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, how do you want to get these off? It's either going to hurt or it's not going to hurt.
That's not her, then?
Alright, what do you have so I can pick it?
What do I have? Not a lot.
Because the closest I've got is my little dagger.
That's probably as good as you're gonna get, I think, because I don't know
Yeah.
if Ran has anything smaller.
No.
Eidolon would just sigh in that case. Just kind of reach forward for you to put out your arm.
Mm.
Take the dagger out. So this is probably gonna hurt then.
Alright.
As I'd attempt to pick a lock with a knife.
Give me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
To be fair, we have all night, so I'm assuming it's eventually going to work.
As long as you don't stab me to death.
That is a 14!
You are able
Not bad.
you are able to get the first one off.
Right, next.
Offer up the other hand.
Sim check.
Yep.
Holy shit! That went really well!
You are able to get both of them off with relative ease.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I need to stab your arm now because I promised that was going to hurt and that was pretty easy.
Please don't. I've seen what you can do.
Only slightly tempting, as he'd flip the knife up, catch it again, and put it down into his essentially chest pocket.
What do we do with hold up one of the manacles?
You can either keep him or chuck him. We don't need him. I'm sure some of your magic bullshit requires metal for something.
Alright then.
How are you doing, by the way? I know I checked with Wolfric as well. Yeah, obviously, but what about you?
Not the first time I've seen death, but it's one of those things that just never gets easier.
I can at least relate to you on that. First thing I've been able to relate to you on ever, but, you know.
First for everything.
How long was he down there? As his tone would just sour quite quickly and his expression would drop.
I assume you're referring to, Wilfric.
No.
No?
You're welcome to ask to clarify.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Damn, where?
How long was Gairdra down there before we got there?
Couldn't say, not a long time. At least since I came to.
Any idea what he meant, that he was closer than we thought? Did he say anything?
Nothing useful.
I mean, it's easy, he could be in Westcross, but that's too simple of it.
Yeah.
Have we known anyone recently?
In what way?
Any which way.
I don't think so.
As Eidolon would more just throw himself back in the seat for a second. Sorry, just very on edge.
No, it's understandable.
Listen, if you have any more visions about him more than just the one you had on the stairs, say.
Yeah.
I need to know where he is.
Yeah. In fact, there was one the other day just to tell you about the one the other day.
The only one you've told me about is... Well, apparently my hair disappeared.
There was another one. Two of you being awarded something. And I believe you proposed by the looks of it. If I understand.
Eidolon just gives a slow, steady nod.
Didn't seem to like that.
Learning that more and more by the day. In that case, just mention if anything more happens, and if anything stands out as suspicious, people around us, I guess, just stay.
Yeah.
Don't keep it in. You've done far too much of that already.
I'm aware.
Then be aware of it and start changing it. As he'd reach over for his tankard and take a swig.
As the two of you are sitting there that night, not long before you come to bed, the female the one who gave you your keys in the first place. She comes over to the two of you, kind of gives Ranagash a smile, kind of leans over the bar slightly cautiously. You're Eidolon Daedalus, right? Sorry.
Eidolon immediately wary, but then remembers that Marcusar, when he was alive, did give our names when we came in here. So it's almost like the hand starts to go for the dagger on the chest before just calms, puts his hand down the table. Yeah, that would be me.
I didn't actually know if you would be staying here tonight. Something was dropped off for you today.
Very steadily, he sort of just keeps his hand to his chest for a second. Make sure he knows where it is.
I was just
All right.
instructed to give it to you if I saw you, and well, your friend, I think his name was Wolfric. He paid for the rooms for an extra night, so I thought, obviously you're staying here, so I didn't really have to come looking with you drinking.
I'm aware. I'm just confused at who would have had the time to drop something off. As I'd more just make eye contact with Ran.
It was a young woman. She was staying here perhaps the other night with her father. She dropped it off before her and her father left this morning. Well, it was more this afternoon, if I'm honest.
Can you show me what was dropped off?
Yes.
I'd sort of just like hesitantly like give Ran eye contact, just like be aware.
She kind of goes into the pockets of her kind of apron that she's wearing and pulls out a parcel about that size, kind of really squished brown paper, like not like a box or anything, it's just like a bundle wrapped in brown paper with a bit of string through it.
I take it from the woman if she's giving it to me?
Yeah, she is. It was the only thing that was left, I'm sorry. She just asked if I could give it to you.
The fact I didn't expect anything at all shows that I'm just as confused. Thank you. As I'd give her just a simple wave off.
She kind of gives you a nod, though kind of takes a few steps, turns around. Do you need another one, gents?
As I turn to Ranagash, I don't have any going on me.
I think we're fine.
She kind of gives you a nod and goes back to tending several of the other patrons and some of the other members of the bar.
As you can see, Eidolon looks very wary at this package before steadily starting to remove the string around it.
It's a bomb!
It's a pipe bomb!
It's not a bomb. As you start to unravel the string, it starts to, I guess the paper starts to fall apart as it no longer has any support holding it in place. It feels very squidgy in your hands though. Like, almost like essentially bundled cloth inside of a paper, like brown paper. That's kind of the weird wrinkly squidgy feeling that you're getting as you're opening it.
Alright.
Do you open it completely?
He essentially get to that stage, take a small breath, just in case, readying himself.
In case it is a bomb.
And, yeah. Either it's a bomb or it's some form of magical trap. You know, you can technically enchant paper to explode, so you can make a mail bomb.
I mean, it did happen to you before.
Alright, I'll open the brown bag.
As you open it, it seems to be, I guess, quite a large bundle of fabric is inside of it. Kind of navy blue in colour. Quite soft. Almost like satin or really, really fine woven cotton inside of it. There is, I guess, on the tassel side, so the end of it, where there's like these, I guess, loose bits of woolen thread kind of bunched together. There is an emblazoned of a set of drama masks in gold that have been embroidered into the bottom right hand corner. As you kind of take it out and unweave it, it appears to be a scarf of some kind. And from the...
There's a mask drops.
Yeah, there is. And
Here.
from the internals of the folds, a card falls out of it. So just
it's
a white
essentially
card.
a scarf, did you say?
It is a scarf, yes. A kind of big old-fashioned sheet scarf.
Alright, I take the card from the table and give it a read in that case.
Cool.
Still highly confused.
It is quite a weighty bit of paper. Almost, I guess, what you'd find in perhaps a canvas more than anything else.
Oh, I think I know what this is now then.
As inside there is, I guess, quite a quick sketch of the inside of the sleeping stag. Done pretty well in coals. And on the other side there is a note for you, in a handwriting you don't recognise. As it reads, I noticed something the last time we met, and I wanted to give you this, but you likely missed me, so I left it behind. Father and I are travelling to Conreen, and hopefully we'll be able to trade there, as we weren't able to do much here. Maybe you'll catch me there. Good luck. E.
Yeah, that's roughly what I thought it was. I'm very happy about that. That's really nice. That's really nice. As you essentially see, the second he sees the drawing on the side of the card, Matthew, Eidolon would immediately relax.
Who's it from?
I mean, the only time you'll have seen her was when I broke her pottery in Summerhost.
Ah, right. Seem to have made things right.
As Eidolon more seems a little caught off guard, like a little like what's the best way to put it, like cat got tongue. As he's more just like handling the fabric. What can I replace on my attire with this? I need to actually get a drawing of Eidolon. That's why I'm asking you, Em.
I mean, she did say something in her note to you, that she noticed something the last time you met, which was not long after the first time you activated the visage of the astral self.
Alright, so for covering the neck.
It is a scarf.
Actually, it is a scarf, but just because it's rather long, you'd actually watch Eidolon take off like the green traveling cloak that he's got on. So I just bunched that up, put it in the bag, and just kind of wrap the scarf around his neck. But of course, you described it as being quite a large scarf.
To almost keep it like
So sort of
like
like
partial poncho.
Like the entrails kind of just like come down, not entrails, end trails, come down, just going down his back, almost making a new form of cloak.
A scarf cloak.
Scarf cloak. You know what? I think that'll do me for tonight, Ranagash.
Yeah.
This is more just give you a nod, stand up, try get some sleep, and if anything bullshit happens in your dreams, say.
Will do.
I'm only gonna ask you this once. You better do it from now on. As he'd more just leave like a point at you as he'd head towards the stairs.
As obviously I imagine Ranagash would retire that evening as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of bullshit happening in your dreams, Matthew. Don't sigh at me.
He did write you a prophetic character.
As a brief reprieve before Matthew gets into his bullshit, before Wolfric headed to bed and prayed, he would have tidied up his hair and his beard.
Oh yeah. Little bit of clean shaven.
Yeah, he's now got like more tight, like tighter to the face beard, but there's still, I'm imagining, you can see the white hairs, like there's more white hairs, but it's a very distinguished look.
Like I'm guessing they're no longer like graying hairs. They're like almost like a pearly, not like a pearly white, but like a distinctive white.
I imagine he's getting to the stage where
Nice.
like perhaps a few more months, a few more years, and he's going to get to that like silver fox.
Yeah.
Oh. Also, you can't complain about weird magic bullshit anymore.
He has weird magic
You
bullshit.
are weird magic bullshit.
As Ranagash, I need a D8 from you.
Oath of Redemption gives you such cool stuff, though, Ewan.
It
Very
does.
fitting for your character too.
It's getting smaller, that dice.
It is getting
I wonder
smaller,
what
that
the
dice.
means.
Interesting. So, Ranagash, you head to bed that night. Or at least you think you head to bed that night. You seem to stumble from the ensuite of your room. Stumble through, and perhaps in your dreams, perhaps sleepwalking, you're not too sure. You stumble out of the bathroom and into a corridor. Not into your bedroom. It's quite a narrow corridor. For it can sit there. With kind of offshoots coming off of it in various different directions, though it seems to be very well decorated. Very well looked after. Quite warm. You can see sconces on the walls that have been lit, making it quite homely. And you, I guess, struggle to get your bearings perhaps stepping through a front door rather than another room as you kind of turn to look at the door you just came through, until you hear a sudden clatter coming from down the hall. What do you do?
I guess investigate. Can't really just stand around looking pretty.
I mean, you could.
Rand's at least good at that.
Sick burns. As you kind of, I guess, go down the hall to investigate what's going on, you kind of pass through into more of a, I guess, an open kitchen, kind of pantry, kitchen, dining area. Very, very beautifully done. The clatter seems to have come from several ceramics that are now on the floor, with what looked like the evening's dinner now also on the floor, and a strange feeling in your chest as your heart almost skips a beat. Feel that very, very tightening in your chest as a kind of doubled over, almost clutching her side in pain, waterfall of golden hair falling over her face, is a very, very beautiful woman. Elven woman. As she kind of gathers herself, takes a few deep breaths, looks up, sees you standing in the archway, kind of corrects herself, smiles. I can't believe he sent you. You really didn't have to.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, I just dropped something. Do you want some dinner, Gerdra?
That'd be nice.
As she kind of stands up, corrects her posture that little bit, and I guess begins to pick up some of the shards of the ceramics. I did tell him that I didn't need him to send you. I can be fine on my own, even when he is working late.
You know what he's like.
Not really, he was never like this before. Now all he seems to do is worry.
People change, I suppose, when things change.
I guess. I guess it's nice to see him care, but sometimes I wish he wouldn't care so much. Especially when it means that you've just come off of a late shift and have to stay up even later, spending time with me.
He'd do the same for me.
He probably would, wouldn't he? Do you mind? Bending is quite difficult at the moment. If you don't mind picking up the shards.
Yeah.
As she kind of goes back to, I guess, a more open-topped fire, starts stirring some of the remains before she dropped most of it. So, how was your patrol today?
You know how it is. Same old, same old.
You know, he says the same. You could at least make it sound exciting.
Well, it's a sin to lie, isn't it?
Yes, but when you're trying to tell an exciting story, and my day is rather mundane since I've not been able to leave in the past couple of weeks, it would be nice to have some excitement.
If anything changes, you'll be the first to know.
I better be. I know Eidolon won't tell me, so I hope you will. As she kind of starts stirring, starts plating up another couple of bowls of what looks like a quite hearty vegetable stew. It has quite a beautiful aroma to it, where all of a sudden she kind of winces, doubles over again. She ends up dropping the ladle and almost cracking the side of one of the pots, and ends up almost falling to a knee on the floor.
Are you sure you're alright?
I should probably sit down.
Yes.
I didn't really expect it to be this bad, if I'm honest.
These things happen, it's alright.
I don't know, as she kind of stands up, goes over and kind of takes a seat, kind of, I guess, slowly lowering herself down, probably with a hand from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it would be easier.
I can imagine.
How does Eidolon seem about it? He fusses over me and he never really talks. I know he talks to you though.
Doesn't say much on the matter, unfortunately.
He has told you, right?
I think so, yes.
She kind of, I guess, weakly punches your shoulder. She doesn't have much strength in her, it doesn't do very much. What do you mean, I think so? You're supposed to be the
You know what?
godfather.
Tells me a lot of things, you know? Why don't you tell me again then, just to be sure?
Promise you'll remember this time?
Promise?
We're having a baby. You're supposed to be our child's godfather.
Ah, yes, you definitely mentioned that one.
Are you sure? You don't look certain.
Yes. Still getting used to it, I suppose.
I'll swap with you. Though I guess you'd have to put up with Eidolon a little bit more then.
I can handle him.
Most people can. He's a big softy at heart. What am I doing? I still haven't fed you.
I'll do it myself, don't strain yourself.
It's still my house. As difficult as this is, I'm not letting it deter me that much.
At least let me give you a hand.
That much I can do. As she kind of stands up, very much using you for support. Kind of sets her head on your shoulder, just kind of smiles. Thank you, Gerdra. Maybe I did need you tonight.
No problem.
As the two of you, I guess, prepare dinner, you help her along. You help her prepare it. There are a few other times where she winces ever so slightly. You can almost, I guess, feel, even though you are in control of your thoughts, you can almost feel your head move like 100 miles a minute trying to work out what's going on. But you're not too sure whether that's you or whether that's him. As that night, you end up having dinner with her. You end up sitting with her, making sure she's alright that night, and she ends up falling asleep on your knee. As you kind of sit on the couch. Where, for a moment, it seems that the entire body, thoughts and all, seem to relax. As you and him, in this old memory, seem to drift off with your hands tied through her hair. Just a moment of comfort and a moment of bliss. As you, as Ranagash, almost even find yourself smiling as you're in bed, just drifting in and out of a light sleep. Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
As, I guess for Wolfric, it's been an on and off sleep, but it's been comforting as much as it's been disturbing. Eidolon, do you ever have a comforting sleep? And Ranagash, probably one of the more comforting sleeps you've had in a while. Even if it is slightly conflicted inside. As the three of you head downstairs, through the corridors and back into the main hall, you are hailed by Azimir, who is set up for breakfast. There are tankards and plates sat for him, the four of you, and there's an extra space there. Though he kind of calls over to the three of you. I was meaning to catch you yesterday. Thankfully you didn't leave town, so I have that going for me. Where's...
No longer with us.
My apologies.
Eidolon, before heading over to the table, is going to hold Wolfric back for a second. Kind of cautiously.
Aye.
Wolfric, who is that? I know it's the man who we saved from the bandit site, but who is that?
Is this a trick question? Are you having a memory lapse? I don't know what's going on here.
What's his name and what's he doing here?
Samir. He's a merchant.
Does he give a slow, cautious nod and head over to the table?
I took the liberty of purchasing you boys breakfast. I did so yesterday, but you didn't show up. I assume you had your reasons.
We were here, we had matters to deal with.
very sorry that we did not inform you beforehand.
It's alright, I do not mind. I was more wanting to meet with you to perhaps expand on my proposal that I made when we entered into Westcross.
That
yes.
being.
I obviously said that my papers got you in here and it'd probably be wise that we left together. I was actually hoping, kind of shrugs, given what happened on my journey from Tenon, if it was not that much of an inconvenience, if I could perhaps hire you officially to take me to Kinreen.
I'm not against it.
Eidolon would more just let Wolfric take the header on that.
I'm completely willing. Of course, we'd have to negotiate terms and.
I made a little bit of I made a little bit of coin in the city from what I was able to bring in, and I have some reserves, at least for paying hires. What would you want per day?
Reasonable amount. What was the rate you paid your guys before?
I gave them 5 gold a day each.
We'll take that. Does that sound reasonable to you boys?
Eidolon more just shrugs. Anything's fine by me.
Yeah.
Take it's enough to feed us. Clothes on our back gets us an inn. You know, I'm putting money in a pot. You know, I've got future plans.
If we get to Kinreen with I guess no casualties, casualties being myself, I will give you a share of profit. It's only fair.
Casualties happen too often around you.
They happen too often around us.
I hope you don't
By
mind.
us, I mean me.
He kind of smirks. I hope you don't mind as well. I didn't know if you'd left or not already, so I took the liberty of hiring my own muscle yesterday. I've already paid him in advance for the travel. He seems like a capable man.
Are we? Where is he?
He kind of looks over.
Yeah.
He's fetching another drink as he kind of gestures to a gentleman over the bar. Paul,
Yes.
Hey.
what does he look like?
As you look across the bar, you will see a tall man, easily over 6 foot, but he is, I would say, quite old. Not quite old, but maybe pushing 50, you know. He is balding with sort of like greying brown hair at his sides. He has a mustache, and you also notice that he's wearing an eye patch, which is very visibly covering a scar over his left eye. And he's wearing sort of travelling furs and whatnot, just typical leathers and boots and whatnot. And come over to the table and is like, "Is this the lot you've been talking about?"
They're they're quite impressive. Azimir kind of points at Wolfric. This one here's an iron dragon.
Well met, sir. Roderick.
Wolfric. Good to meet you.
Sorry, just so you can't. Wolfric Street.
Flawless.
Yes,
Great.
Hello.
seamless. Pleased to meet you. And the rest of you are. I extend a hand out to, let's say, little half orc.
Just not returning the handshake, just the hand up. Ranagesh the Bastard, if you're feeling fancy, but Ranagesh will do.
The Bastard, what a great name.
Thank you.
And extend a hand to the human that I haven't shook.
Eidolon would just look up, look at the hand, cast his gaze back down to Azimir. Eidolon.
Not one for handshakes, I see.
I've got a question. Paul, you described him. Is he human, or is he?
He is human.
He is human.
He is human. Yes. Just an old man.
Yeah, I met him yesterday. He's quite a travelled mercenary. Quite a high fee, but I didn't know if you boys were coming back, so I didn't want to skimp. as I said, I've already paid him for the journey to Kinreen, so if it wouldn't be too much of an issue.
No worries.
As long as it's only till Kinrain.
Azimir kind of holds up his hands. You boys are free to do what you want after that. My business ends in Kinreen.
Oh, I mean, we're also you've got a horse, right?
Talking to me.
Yeah.
Of course, I've got a bloody horse.
Right. We can use one of our horses to help more efficiently pull the cart because I think I've come up with something. Either of you, Eilon, Radagash, if you'd prefer to have if you'd like to ride out with the rest of us, I can figure something out.
I have no preference either way.
Right, shall we get going then?
It would be good to get moving whilst we have some sunlight.
And I presume as we head towards the carriage, I presume the carriage is all ready for us?
Yeah, so you guys will head out the main gates, back to the stables where your carriage will be waiting. You'll have, I think it was Eidolon and Radagash's horse already tacked up, and then obviously your stallion and Marcusar's horse, obviously to the side. And as Roderick comes out, he will also have not quite war horse like yours, Wolfric. Yours is a proper war horse. His is more like a Clydesdale, so still quite a big, hefty Shire horse, but not built for war or combat.
Yeah. So they're tacked up to the carriage, or are they just tacked up?
So your horse and what would be Marcusar's horse is just tacked up. Eidolon's horse and Ranagash's horse are actually tacked up to the carriage.
Okay, so which one of you fancies riding outside with me and Roderick?
I'll do it.
Okay, now I'm new at this, so you're gonna have to give me a second. And I will cast Find Steed. To summon a horse.
I like to imagine it's just an exact replica of the fucking horse he got from Sora.
Roll me a d4, Wolfric.
Is this for a kind of horse?
Yeah.
1.
Cool. It's not...
Shetland pony.
It's not what you were expecting. It's not Shetland, but it appears to be a mule.
Great.
Oh. 10 minutes for that?
You're doing your best. I give it a scratch behind the ear. You're doing your best, lad. You're doing your best.
It looks really happy with the scritch on the head.
Oh,
Now,
we must protect it.
It is intelligent enough to understand me, because that's how Find Steed works. And then he looks at it and he goes, "Right, Lottie, do you fancy going on a walkabout with us, or do you want to go back to the plane? I can send you back, or you can come with us for a wee bit." What do you feel like?
Walks forward and sticks his nose back in your hand for more scritches.
Okay, so you're wanting out, yes. Nod for a yes if you're wanting to stay out.
He kinda and then puts nose back in hand.
Okay, I'll keep scratching it. Now you're gonna canter alongside me, right? You're gonna keep pace, alright?
He kinda gives you another big nod and then nudges you again.
You can't let it die.
Right, listen. If he dies, I can just resummon him. He's like a familiar.
Oh shit, so if he dies, he's not actually dead.
No.
Yes!
Yeah, Find Steed functions like Find Familiar.
Can
It's just-
Marcusar be your steed?
It's just a familiar you can ride.
I don't want to see Wolfric riding Marcusar.
No, but just more. I can keep coming back.
Paul's still
Right.
not over dying, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, so we'll hike up onto the horse. Mule beside him. I need a name for you. How's Daffodil?
It just kinda paws ground and kinda shakes its head, almost shivering, because you've stopped petting it.
Let's scratch again. Do you not like that? What would you prefer? You can't talk, that's not very helpful.
Name it Marcusar.
I'm gonna name you Snapdragon.
It kinda
How's
nods
that?
to that one.
Right, you're liking that. Right, Snapdragon, come on.
As Azimir kinda laughs watching you commune with this donkey. That's some impressive stuff. I didn't know Iron Dragons knew magic.
Oh, this is new to me too. Right,
As
let us get going.
you head out from West Cross, the sentinels at the gates bidding you farewell. Eidolon, obviously riding alongside Wolfric in the carriage, along with Roderick, the mercenary Azamir picked up the day before. With Ranagash, do you sit front carriage with Azamir, or do you go in the back?
I'll go in the back.
You can ride Snapdragon if you want.
Ride the donkey.
Do it. He's a mount.
He is a
mount.
good boy. He is a good boy. He is here to be a good boy.
I'll vibe in the back.
Is Ran
Is this
vibes?
the ending of the session,
No.
by the way?
Yes, is Ran vibes in the back, and we end the session for this evening.
Excellent.
I don't trust this man.
Which man? There's many men. And a
Azamir.
donkey.
I don't trust Azamir. Everything he does is far too convenient, and I don't trust him for a single second.
He's just a merchant.
Craig doesn't
A
trust
merchant
anyone.
who just so... Listen, Ewan, a merchant who just so happened to know things about each and every one of the areas that we come from, which are the 4 distinct farthest corners of the world. I don't trust that.
He's a merchant. He travels.
Who goes from the Citadel to Kinreen?
Yeah.
The Gildenfeld's kind of.
That doesn't go very far. I don't
Also,
trust him. I don't.
I do love that he was probably gonna summon the warhorse, but I do love Snapdragon the magic mule even more.
He's better. He's better than anything you could have gotten.
When you become more proficient in casting, you'll probably be able to upgrade it to a better steed, but I just thought it would be funny to get you to roll for the type of horse, because he's never done
Yeah.
this before, so the first
I
time he
can't
does
wait.
it, it's a donkey.
Yeah, I hope it is just the spirit of Snapdragon taking
S-
different forms,
Slowly
Yes.
gets upgraded,
Yes.
the better he gets
when
at
he-
casting
when
it.
and when he gets find greater steed, Snapdragon becomes a goddamn Pegasus.
Yes. But it's always the same thing.
It's always the same spirit.
It's always Snapdragon, who started his humble beginnings as a mule. But yeah, some
No,
intense
I don't.
stuff.
I don't trust this merchant. This merchant's not to be trusted. Not for a second.
But we're not gonna kill him. If he's a bad person, we do something else.
Wolfric
If he's a
doesn't
bad
kill
person, you
anymore.
turn around and I'll decapitate him.
If he's a bad person, we turn him into the proper authorities, and we also get the money we're promised.
How'd that go for the bandit, Ewan?
You shut up. You shut up. I did
No.
not hear him. I did not hear him offering me mercy, so I showed him no mercy.
And we're not going to offer this man any mercy if he turns on us.
I've made an oath now. I have to. It's quite literally my prerogative
That being?
to offer mercy. It's
And
the
if that
point.
mercy is not taken.
I will calm emotions, you motherfucker, and you have low enough charisma to fail the save.
My emotions are already calm. This is Eidolon's calm state.
Murder is calm. As I hope you boys enjoyed tonight, it definitely was a bit of a twist on what I had planned. Reached the same end
The
with.
way up needs to change.
Yeah, I need to do some fun things with that. Need to change Wolfric's class symbol, and I need to change Marcusar's box.
Do you need to draw new art
Quite possibly.
for the thumbnail?
Well,
or-
other people are RPing. I was making the hero forward, so I'll send you over a picture.
Thank you very much, Paul. But for tonight, it is goodbye from me, and as always, goodbye from my boys.
The ones
Goodbye.
who are alive and not.
And a goodbye from Marcusar.
Oh, yeah.
Salutes. F in the comments.
F in the comments from Marcusar. I'm not a patient man, Marcusar. You took your time.
Who are you?
I thought perhaps at this point you would know me somewhat, though I can't blame that swine for not introducing me properly.
I'm like raising the sickle higher. Who are you? What have you done to me?